this is going to work for today. All right, we are live. We're live. Wait for everyone to join the room. Going to join from my laptop so I can see the chat. So give me a moment. Hello, hello. Hello, digging in the dirt, Tamika. Hey, Miss Rashida. I'm trying to get it started on my laptop so I can see the chats. View my channel. Here I am live. Turn off my sound so we don't get any feedback. All right. I think we got this going. I'll give everybody a few moments. It looks like I didn't know Uncle Bamit was on, but I think they wrap up around 8 o'clock. So I'm kind of glad I'm starting a little late. So it's the ones that are straggling away from that live, they can join our live. And for today, I'm going to be talking about my seed organization, which works for me. Everyone has their own way of organizing seeds, but I'm going to share with you how I organize my seeds for myself, and it works for me. So I'm going to do a little bit of an intro and a kind of a little bit of a catch up. So I am Jacqueline, content creator for Four Seasons Garden. I've been away for a little bit. You haven't seen me post. I had gotten sick a little bit after Chaz's seed giveaway for her pollinators that I had participated in. So I have not sent those out yet. I am finally getting back to, hey, Farmer Chaz. I'm finally getting back to um, a little bit of normalcy, maybe kind of. So with being sick, then my daughter ran a 10K in Disney. And as we were leaving for Disney, my phone decided to go on the fritz. And that is how I do all of my videoing, everything. And so my sister looked at it and she says, well, if you order this part and this part, you'll be able to get it fixed. All right, no problem, Cece. Are you headed to your Master Gardener's class? Is that where you're headed to? Um, so phone on the fritz. We got the parts. We fixed it. We are using our phone, but we found out we fixed it and then we had to go to take it to You Break It. You break it, you fix it, whatever that place is. And they said that it's a known issues on my phone. So it's a Samsung S22 Ultra. I am an Android girl, that the motherboards are bad on this. So they were shocked that I was still being able to use my phone. So we are kind of limping it along. And then we went to buy a phone yesterday, and because of the snowstorm, the site was down. So we're really, really, here playing around with the phone. It should be okay. We should be able to get through everything. Um, so, oh, you're going to therapy. Okay, well, that's important too. So go take care of yourself. That's probably something that we all need to do better. Hey, Donzel, I haven't seen you in forever. I was telling the ladies in our chat, I was like, I haven't seen Donzel in a while. So I'm guessing you were gone for a week for different things in life, and then you popped up last week, I think, in one of Chaz's, and I was like, oh, he's back. I'm so excited. Um, so thank you for joining tonight. I want to thank my moderators. So we have some of my moderators on tonight. Donzel being one of my moderators. Rashida's already jumped in. If you see her say Jack Jack, that's me. Um, and then, of course, Farmer Chaz, my newest moderator. And you guys know I love me some Farmer Chaz. She has helped me so much in this journey, just as much as the ladies. They have encouraged me. Last tonight, I was like, should I do a live? I have been away for a while. And they're like, yes, do a live. So I spent 4 hours clearing out snow. We got 6 inches on Sunday with ice. So nope, you didn't miss any. You didn't miss anything. I was kind of. I know that Uncle Bama is on, but I know that I think he finishes right around 8 o'clock. So I figured I could shoot the breeze for a little bit and kind of catch up. And what I was saying is that I got sick after Farmer Chaz's, went to Disney for my daughter. She ran a 10K. She did amazing. Came back home, had phone issues, still dealing with phone issues, but we're almost figured out all the phone issues so we can get a new phone. And here we are. So we still need to do lots of editing of the things that we have. So this week we will be planning on, well, after the snow, cleaning that up. Now we can get back to editing. And then I started a challenge, walking 5 miles every day. And when you're not a walker and you haven't been a walker and you got to take a 30-minute mile, it takes a lot of time of your day. So working my way up through that. So a lot of different things going on. So we are going to talk about seed starting. I'm Jacqueline, content creator for Four Seasons Garden. I garden in zone 7A, Rich. 7A, if you watch this and play back later. So 7A here. I garden in containers, in bags. I garden in hydroponics right now. As you can see them behind me, they're doing amazing. These are my mini-me's. Here, some orange hats, our cucumber. You can see one right here that needs to be harvested. So here it is, harvested right on in this live. And this is a good size. That's what, 4 inches. Excellent for a salad. So we are going to get started. So saving your seeds is important. We've talked about that several times on the Garden Gals chat, chat and chew. You've heard other content creators talk about making sure that you're saving your seeds. I'm also going to say, I'm going to always do a caveat. If you're saving seeds, save your heirlooms because it'll always produce the same type of fruit every single time. If you are saving hybrids, know that you're taking a chance, right? It's a cross between two different plants, several plants, and you're not going to get the same fruit when you grow that plant. You're going to get something that's totally different, and you could be disappointed. So I'm not discouraging you from saving hybrids. Just be prepared to have some disappointment if you don't get the same type of fruit that you had saved your seeds from. So heirloom seeds, like I said, they use plant it, save the seed. It's going to give you the same seed every single time. So when I share with you my spreadsheet tonight, you're going to see that I have it tagged heirloom hybrid, so that I know which seeds I can or can't save really quick at looking at my sheet. I did change over I'm kind of like migrating from my Excel sheet to a new way, and I'm going to share that with you tonight if I can get that out. So I'm going to get started there. My mom is here when we have a really bad snowstorm. Mom is required to either come to my house or my sister's house, or somewhere. And so she's at my house, and I say, Mom, I'm going to go live tonight. Would you join me tonight? She's like, no. I was like, would you at least come in the room and like speak on the camera? No. So my mom is super camera shy. So, but I told her I was going to call her out tonight, that she didn't join us. But so thank you everyone who's joining the room. There's 6 of us in here. So seed saving. how did I start? So this is how I started. Um, this I found this in the shed 2 years ago. Um, because I can't say I didn't know any better. I do know better. I think it got lost in some of the packing when we moved things from out of the garage into my she shed. And somehow this container of seeds got lost in there. So, what is in this container? I've got some Blue Lake bush beans, and I do bush beans because you guys know I do containers. So bush works best in my containers. Um, Thank you, Donzel. And yes, thank you, Rashida. And mom should be joining. I think she might be listening, but she said I might comment. But anyway, so this is my Bush Blue Lake. And I don't think this has a year on it, but I know some of these do. So this was some super tasty hybrid from Burpee. This is from 2014. That's how old these seeds are. They're very, very old. All right, cool, Shelly. Thank you for joining. I'm glad you could join on, even though you're multitasking, which you're really good at. We know that anyway. There's my mom, Meemaw Duncan. So all the grandkids call her Meemaw. So there's my mom. Say hi to mom. Don't give her too much of a hard time because she won't join the camera, but that's okay. So what else is in here? I was going to plant a bouquet garden. This was from 2006. And Easy Peasy, Burpee 2014. So a lot of older seeds. I'm not going to throw them away. I'm going to try G Mama's method of starting them in the container with water with a lid. Hey, David. So this is, like I said, this is how I first started doing saving my seeds in this container. So start somewhere, throw them in there. I mean, it was a easy, real quick way for me to find them. I wasn't doing as much. So like I said, I'm not getting rid of this. This is still seeds that I'm going to try to grow and see if they grow well. So in saying that, when I get seeds from, let's say I purchase something from Facebook Marketplace or from any of those places, invariably I will get seeds. And I must have gotten a whole slew of and stuck them in this. My mother-in-law likes to send me Omaha steaks. And so this is a great way to preserve seeds in something that the temperature doesn't change. Hey, Angela, thank you for joining tonight. And we're talking about my progression of seed storage, and we're going to get to how I store seeds now, which is totally different than an Omaha steak box or even the plastic container that I started out with. So in here I have some organic kale, some organic beans, organic carrots, and that's all they call them. They don't call them anything else, and they're from Moppet Marketplace. Oh, it looks on the back. So these are little finger carrots. These are radish cherry bell, which are heirloom. Some snowball cauliflowers. Some Detroit dark red. So a lot of great choices still in this container. And so I do think I will add these to my list. Let's see what else is in here. There's some arugula. I don't like arugula. So if you want the arugula, like I said, I don't know the condition, but I will mail it to you if you think you want arugula. I don't do arugula. I don't like the spicy. It's not my thing. So I'll go back and go through here. So if you want the arugula, put it in the chat. I have some Black Beauty zucchini from Ohio heirloom seeds, because we know that Black Beauty is so. Mammoth sunflowers. You guys know my theme for my website, for my YouTube is sunflowers. So I will be planting these. So I will normally put any seeds that come in this container. I did that for a while. I think I will migrate it to my regular boxes. So that is how I started. And there was a lady at church that was moving, and she gave me a gift in this box. And she did not know how much I love flowers. And it says, "May all your weeds be wildflowers." Got a beautiful sun hat on the front of it. And this box contains my seed organization. So what's in my seed organization box? Seed packets. So let's say I saved some of my seeds and I need to save them. I have these wonderful seed packets. I got them from Amazon. It's got some really great information. If any of you receive seeds from me, thank you, Donzel. You know that I will write the seed type on here, the variety, the date it was collected or the year I purchased it, any kind of growing notes, how long it takes to germinate, how long it takes to go to fruit, what company I bought it from, or if I started it myself, and if I did start it, even what company I got the seeds from. So I give you a lot of great information so you don't have to look it up. So I will have that in there. I bought some of these seed bags. So I'll put my seeds in this seed bag, put it in this box. So in case the bag comes up, the bag comes open, I'm still able to have a Ziploc bag of my seeds. And so you will see, once I show you some of my seed packets, almost 100, I'm going to say 95, 93% of times when I buy seeds, I will put them in here and I will label them, what type of seed is in there, and then still stick it inside the bag so that in case I'm in the middle of putting seeds, starting them, and I forget which bag it needs to go in, I still have this bag label as well. So what else is in this box? So here's the bag. It comes 100 in a bag. I must have gone through at least 300 or 400 of these bags already. I will save my coupons in this box. So this is a coupon for Seeds Now, one of the companies that I buy seeds from, 20% off. So that's in here. Double-sided tape. I'm going to show you what I use a double-sided tape. I use a double-sided tape to put an inventory post-it on my boxes so I can keep track of what year that I've inventoried. Regular tape, packing tape, a pen, tape to tape up the outside of my package so it stays closed. So that is in my handy dandy box. And in this box is also this container. So this is an extra container. I bought like 6 extra ones because one broke. So it came with some extra ones. Yes, I got a lot of stuff over here, but it keeps me organized. You know how organized I try to act like I am? If you ever came to my house, you'd be like, oh, she's chaos. But when it comes to her garden, she loves her garden. So very organized, but everything's in one spot, right? I could just grab that box. If I get seed packs, able to organize it and put it in its container. I have a box. This is a seed that needs to be added. I found it in cleaning out the office, and it's some Melissum's Carpet of Snow. Bought them at the $1.25 store. This is when they were 4 for $1. Now they're 3, I think, for $1.25. So that needs to be added to the spreadsheet and then put in its correct container. So that's my progression to seed organization. So now I'm going to show you how I organize my seeds. Let me grab the one I want to start with. I want to start with this one. All right. I like using the photo boxes. I use the container, but I like it to be super organized. I want to be able to go grab what I need if I'm going to do winter sowing. and I am going to do calendulas. I want to be able to go to my flower box. So I have two of these that are dedicated to flowers specifically. Let's see. So you like my stickers? Yeah. So some of these stickers are when I order from Greenstock, I order from Ujama. When you order seeds, you get seeds that are sent to you. I use them to decorate my boxes. So it gives me somewhere to remember where I bought different things. And then, of course, my sunflower theme. I bought some sunflower stickers for when I send seeds out, I send you a few stickers. One of this says, go through whatever you go through. Sometimes you have to grow what you go through, what you go through. Create your own sunshine. I say, do your garden, and I think that will give you lots of sunshine. So I'll be in my office. Anybody knows that, and when I'm in the garden, I'm in my office. I'm doing my fun stuff. So for my flowers, I organize it differently than I do my veggies. My flowers, I will label each box by alphabet. So letter A, letter B, letter C. And I will only label as I have a flower for that letter. So if I don't have one for the letter, let's see, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. There's nothing for J. I don't have any flowers with the letter J. So I don't have a letter J. I'm not going to go ahead and do that. I'm only going to do that when it's, all right, cool, Rashida. Hop on when you can. Take care of mama. That's important. So I'm only going to label when I get a letter, when I get a flower for that letter. So right now I don't have any for the letter J. So this box has letter A through L. Then I have one that has seeds that I use all of the seeds, but I may want to buy them in the future. So this has just a bunch of empty packets so that later on I may decide, okay, I really like those, or I might want to try those again. So I have those. And then I have a lot of wildflowers seeds that are just in the back of this box. So I want to start a wildflower. And then some of these are also pollinators, so I will be mailing that as well when I mail my pollinator seeds to the winners from Farmer Chaz's seed giveaway. All right, so in this box, I have letters M through Z, but I have a little variation. You guys know I love sunflowers. So for my sunflowers, I have those broken out because I have so many of them a little bit separately. And how I decided to break those out differently is branching sunflowers. So these are sunflowers that will branch and give you multiple blooms. And that means that you can cut them, use them in your home, or whatever that you want to use them for. But this was important for me to know. So I actually have 2 boxes of that with all my branching sunflowers. So what are some branching sunflowers, right? We're already here, so let's talk about them really quick. So your Italian white sunflowers are a branching sunflower. Your Sunny Bunch hybrids, I got those from Burpees. That's a really nice branching sunflower as well. Treasure Mountain, another one from Burpee. This is a Sunny Babe from Park Seed. I like Park Seed seeds. I actually used the Park Seed seeds to grow the flowers for my daughter's wedding. So I love their seeds. Really great germination. I think I had like 99% germination from those seeds. Busy Bee, also from Burpee. Saluna Lemon, also another branching. So if you want a sunflower that gives you lots and lots of flowers that you can cut them, bring them into your house, or share them, then branching flowers is the way to go. Then the single stems, like the ones that you usually buy at the store, I have quite a bit of those as well. So your Black Russian is a single stem. Those are really tall. Those will grow up to 12 foot tall. So that's going to be really great to do. Yes, lots of seeds that I have bought over the years. Isn't that a pretty flower? I can't wait to grow that this year. I have not grown this. It's a sun gold tall. It will grow 3 to 5 feet tall, so about as tall as I am. And it will just give you one flower. So this is something that you might want to succession plant. So that's going to be something I have in here. And then anytime that you see Pro Cut, so this is a Pro Cut orange hybrid. That means that when you cut it and bring it into your home, it is not going to drop pollen. So if you want a flower, a sunflower that you want to bring in, put in a vase, look for the Pro Cut version of that plant in order to bring them in. So I have a lot of the Vincent Fresh. These are the ones that I grew for my daughter's wedding. So I'll be growing those again. Those are also, they will not drop pollen. So that's why I bought these. The Zohars is another one that I grew for her wedding also as well. Oh, thank you, Donzel. Not a teaching class, it's teaching, but not teaching quite yet. So just kind of going through what I have here. So this one, this container is only the Zohars pretty much and the Vincents. So this whole container, I won't say all of them, but a lot of them will be grown this year for my garden. So in saying that, let me show you, probably show you in another one. So those are my flowers. So there's two extra spots in here. So I have room to expand here. Yeah, we love looking at seeds, don't we? And it gives us inspiration for things that we should buy, Farmer Chaz. All right, I won't get you in trouble with Shelly. All righty, or with Shelly, because Shelly likes to spend just as much as you do on flowers going through the book. But the books that we have been inundated with. I have gotten at least 3 different new seed companies that I've never had before. And then in this box, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 6. So I've got lots of room to expand on my flower containers. So I'm going to set these off to the side. Let's see, what are we going to do next? We're going to go grab a drink. 2 seconds. I should have already had it. But I'm still here, not leaving yet. I'm back. All right. Got my coconut water. You guys know I'm Latina. Coconut is the way to go. Year round. I love it. It's the Veggies brand. I love it. I can go through a case of these a week. I love them. All right. Let's see. All right. Of course, the one I wanted to show you next was at the bottom of the pile. All right. You think you're done buying seeds. I like to think. I think. That doesn't, I want to hear, I'm done buying seeds. Now, I think I'm done. Oh, for the season. Oh, for this. For this season. That's your caveat, Chaz. All right. That's good. That's good. I'm good with that. Yes, I did say I'm Latina. I was actually born in Panama. So if you did not know that about me, I was born in Panama. I don't have an accent because I have a family history that's different than some people. So I'll give you a little bit now, just give you a little break from talking about seed starting so you know a little bit about me. So my mom and my dad born in Panama. I'm born in Panama. I'm the only one of my siblings born in Panama. So my mom is family is from Barbados. So they speak um yeah, I like your play on words, Chaz. So my mom's family speaks English. So my mom didn't learn to speak Spanish, even though Spanish is the predominant language in Panama. She didn't learn Spanish till she went to school. So um, I lived with my grandparents, with my mom, and then my mom moved up here, and then I lived with my grandparents. And because I went to school, and the school there was Spanish, yes, the Queen's English. My mom says the Queen's English, correct. So my mom spoke the Queen's English. So Queen's English being English from England. So that was the English with a little patois, little like if you hear my mom doesn't have the accent, but my aunts, mercy, they got an accent on them. So my mom didn't learn Spanish till she went to school. So they were bilingual at home. My dad's side was all Spanish. So he learned some English, but not much. But when he came to the US, he had to learn English. He went into the military, joined the Navy, and my dad needed to learn English. So mom spoke to us children predominantly in English so dad could learn it. So when I came to the US, I lost a lot of my the British, exactly, the British accent. Yes, I'm British, but a little Caribbean too, Donzel. It's got some of the English accent with a little Caribbean in it. And she talked like this. I can't do it like my aunt does. But when she comes here, I will pick it up and I'll start talking like that because I'm a very much of an accent person. If you start talking in a certain accent, I will imitate it, not intentionally or being rude. It's just kind of how I'm put together. So came to the US, I learned to speak correct English, correct, because I didn't know slang. I didn't have an accent. I learned it wherever I was. So, yeah, with a little bit of island, my mom says Donzel. So, I speak very proper English. So, that's just how I was taught, and that's how I've always spoken English. Now, my siblings are all born Americans. I'm a naturalized American. Became a naturalized American in 2005. So I've been an American for 20 years now. Um, so, um, and that's a little bit about me, a little bit of break there. Um, so herbs. So herbs get their own box. So I have my herb box and I do the same thing. I don't label every herb that's out there. I only label as I purchase an herb in my box here. So for me, I have some basil, some borage. That was a recent purchase, and I started growing those yesterday. Gave some away. I never got my garden going last year, but the most beautiful flower, really easy to germinate. They give a blue flower, which it's great for pollination. So I would recommend getting borage. I got mine from Urban Garden Plants last year, and if you watched Shelly's live, um, they are no longer Urban Garden Plants. They're now 99 Heirloom. So I love their germination was awesome. I have some also from Renee's Garden, another great company that I like their seeds from. And of course, everybody knows about Botanical Garden, Botanical Interest. And so this is also a great one. And thank you so much, Donzel. Um, so I also have chamomile. So that's great. My daughter loves chamomile. So I'm growing those. That's for her. I have chives. Cilantro, you guys knew I started the cilantro this year in my air garden. They did marvelous. They have bolted, so I do need to start some more. And the chickens love cilantro. So I'm going to grow some for me and grow some for the chickens. At the office for the master gardeners, they have an education garden. And I've heard so much about growing crimson clover. Isn't that just the prettiest flower? I've heard about growing crimson clover as a cover crop for your garden to help with nitrogen. So what you do is you grow it in your garden bed, but don't let it go to seed. So before it goes to seed, so right at this stage, when it's just beautiful and gorgeous, you cut it down and turn it back and you turn it under to help with nitrogen in your garden. And that was the first time I'd seen it used as a cover crop in a small garden. I've seen it like in the big fields, like big garden, but I never thought about doing it in a smaller environment, a small garden environment. So I bought these from Baker Creek, and I am super duper excited to um, plant those this year in the garden. I've got dill, got mint. Of course, you guys knew I started the mint, cut it back, gave some to the chickens. Chickens loved it as well. Any kind of herbs are great for the chickens. It helps with their digestion, helps with their keeping them healthy. So the chickens have been getting a lot of my herbs that I have grown. I've got oregano as well, which I do need to start some of that. I started the parsley. It is doing amazing. If I get to do my video this week, you'll see how big it is. It actually needs to be cut back. It is that big. It is doing amazing. Yeah, it was part of my Cahoots quiz. Yep. Rosemary, sage, thyme. Those are my herbs. Will I get more? I'm sure I will. As I expand my herb garden. And in this container, I actually have three of these containers from my fruit containers. So before I switch to that, I do want to show you, remember I told you that I use the double-sided tape, and this is what I use the double-sided tape for. So on my boxes, you can see I started this in 2024, and every year that I do my inventory, I write the year, and as soon as I write the year on the box, I know that I have inventoried for the year. So you can see that I have done the inventory for 2026. So I have done all my inventory for 2026. There was some 2 a.m., at least 4 or 5 2 a.m. mornings, just getting through almost 600 seed packets. I'll go through, count how many seeds are in the packets, which packets I have, which packets I don't have. And I'm going to share with you, hopefully tonight. We're at 38 minutes, and I still have another a little bit longer that I want to go. So the next half, I'll be covering more of how I'm organizing my seeds. But for tonight, we're going to cover these containers. So since I'm already in this box, I'm going to cover 2 of them. So this is my watermelon box. And the one that's in here that's most important to me is this Carolina Cross. I know Cece, if you've seen any of her shorts, she's already started her seeds for the watermelon wars. She's in Texas. She's got a little bit of head start on us, but that's okay. 7A is coming for you, Miss Cece. If you go back and watch this, we're coming for you too. So this is for the larger watermelon that we're going to grow. Then we have some Crimson Sweet. That is something that we will be starting in our garden this year. It's about a 15 to 25 pound watermelon. It gives you about 3 to 5 fruit. I'm going to keep it down to 3 fruit per vine so that I can take care of it, manage it, and make sure that I get a good fruit. So I'm always going to go on if it's 5 or 6, 3 to 6, I'm going to always try to get rid of the extra flour, so I'm only down, or get rid of the extra fruit, so I'm only down to the minimum amount for growing watermelon. And then some really small ones that I have on my list that I'm going to be growing this year as well. They're called Little Darling Hybrid. So one, I won't be able to save the seeds, but I've heard they're really great. So sugar sweet. If you're talking about sweetness, it is rated 12 on the Brix scale for sugar scale. So this one should be super duper sweet, super sweet. So, and a nice little mini personal size watermelon. So that's going to be really fun to try this summer. So that is the 2 in the herb box. We're going to close it, set it to the side, and here is the 3 cases that I have for our fruit. And guess what? These cases are all full. There is no more room. So when I was looking at my seed, then I was like, okay, I need to buy this or I need to buy that. I'm like, no, you don't. You need to go through what you have. And of course, Shelly might jump on. It's like, then why did you post in our chat today that, who was it? I want to say it was Botanical Interest. Shelly, if you remember, if you can see it, because I'm on my phone, I can't see. So I actually sent the ladies, someone has 15% off seeds. And I told them, they're like, so why are you sending this to us? I go, well, if I might bite, I'm going to be like Eve and I'm going to share it and see if you bite too. They thought it was hilarious when I said that. So let's I won't go through packet by packet. I'll go through some of them, some of the ones that are my favorite. How about that? Because I haven't grown, just like most of us, we haven't grown everything that we purchase, but I will go through the ones that I have purchased. And hello, Blue. What is that? Let me look on my computer. I can see it better. Blue Hill Urban Backyard Garden. Thank you for joining. Yeah, I'm going to give you the tips, things that I've learned along the way, things that I've read along the way that have worked for me. I can't wait to show you guys my garden this year. You're going to see it like brand new this year because we're clearing out the whole area that it's going in. It's going to be Baker Creek. Thank you. Baker Creek, 15% off today. So, but I am going to buy something. And the only reason I'm buying, I have a reason for buying it. My daughter asked me to grow it. So when your kids ask you to grow something, how can a mom say no? So with my phone going on the fritz, like I told you, I've lost all my texts. I shouldn't say I've lost all my texts. I need to go into Samsung and bring them back, but I'm not sure how it's going to affect my phone. Hey, Unique. I got something in the mail from you, lady. Thank you so much. And you're going to have something back in the mail for you, hopefully this weekend. We're going to work on some of our mail outs in the next few days. So I got in special seeds from Unique when she did her giveaway. So thank you, Unique. I'm able to tell you publicly, thank you. So she sent me some seeds from her giveaway. So like I said, I'm not going to go through all 3 cases. I might read the names to you, just kind of let you see how I organize myself. I already told you my flowers, I organize by letters because that works best for me. My herbs, I organize by type as well, because in here you might, I'll give you an example. Let's go back 2 seconds. Basil will be a good example. So even though it says basil, you're going to have Genovese basil. You're going to have more Genovese basil. You're going to have large leaf Italian basil. You're going to have mammoth basil. You're going to have sweet basil. And I got to show you this one. I can't wait to grow this one this year. Isn't that beautiful purple? I need to send some. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to set this one outside. Set this one aside. You guys know Shelly loves purple. I'm going to send her some of these. I'm going to share my seeds with Shelly. So even though my herbs might say, like I said, just the type within the package, I can find whatever I need. And I don't have that many that I can just riffle through them really quick and find the one I need. So with my fruiting or my veggies, if you want to call it, I've done the same thing. And it worked. Like I said, it works for me. So that's how I've done it. So I'm going to flip this open. And with my beans, I just have it called beans. It worked for me. So my favorite bean to grow is an heirloom. Everyone grows them, but the Blue Lake 274, it works great for me. I have several packets in here. I think this one, that's all they have in that packet. And then this year I wanted to expand and do something a little bit different. So another bush bean that I'm going to try this year, it's called a Cherokee Wax. So if you've grown this, put it in the chat. Tell me what you think about it. But I am going to try that this year. And I think this container has some of that. And then I have some contender bush. Like I told you, I'm a bush girl. I don't grow any pole beans because I grow in containers. So, and I've found that bush beans are great for me. I don't have to worry about trellising. They stand up on their own. I can pick as many as I want. And in one of my city pickers, I can actually put 16 beans, 16 bush plants in one container. So for me, that's a great way for gardening. I love the square foot method. I love my containers. It works for me. I can pack a lot of food in one container for my family. So one thing I've never grown, and I've heard a lot of gardeners say they've had a hard time growing them. So I'm going to throw myself into the mix this year. Last year I did some new stuff. I did potatoes, which I've never done. It did excellent. Onions, which I've never done before. Excellent. Will I be doing them again? Absolutely. I'm really excited to do those again. So I did do a garden, just not my big garden. I did grow bags. So I did a little bit of gardening, but not the gardening that I normally like to do. So I went with the Detroit Dark Red. That's what I'm going to try as far. So Unique says, I've grown the Cherokee Wax indoors. I've been collecting seeds from them for the spring. Okay. So she's done them indoors and now she's going to do them outdoors this year. So Unique, we'll be watching each other to see how our Cherokee Wax do outdoors this year. So I am going to attempt to do these Detroit Dark Red beets. I love beets. So I'm really excited about trying those this year. We have some broccoli. We have Brussels sprouts. I have attempted Brussels sprouts twice, but what I found is I was planting them at the wrong time of the year. Brussels sprouts, you plant in fall. I was starting them in the spring. So this year, I put 16. Nisha, I'm pretty sure. Let me go to my sheet. 2 seconds and I can pull it up here. But I'm pretty sure that city picker does 16. Four Seasons Garden 2026. Opening up my Excel sheet. It normally is open. I just closed it today because I was getting ready for this live. All right, it's open. I have a sheet that's just for my container, and I'll share this with you guys in a minute too. So beans, city picker. No, 10. I gave you the wrong number. So you can put 10 bush beans in I think it's 22 inches by 20 inches is that container size. So what, 2 feet by 2 feet approximately? You can put 10 bush beans in there. If you're a pole bean person and you wanted to put a trellis on it, you can do 20. So that's probably what I was thinking. So if you want to do pole beans, you can do 20. But if you're doing bush beans, they recommend 10. So that is what I do in those. All right. So Blue Hill, let me switch here. Let me read your comment. Due to some construction and rearranging, I will be container gardening this year. Oh, good. I will try the square foot method in my sips. Oh my goodness, lady, you're on it. You're gonna love it. I'm serious. Absolutely love it. Let me get some power for my laptop. I don't know why these things require power, but it wants some. So let's give it some. There we go. Hello, Sharon. Thank you for joining. Hey, Nisi. Thank you for joining. Oh my goodness, Mike. Everyone's jumping in here. Hey, Mike. Thank you for joining. I missed you earlier, Mike. Thank you for joining. He is with GT Junior. The let's see. Hashtag WIG 2025. I need to do another update on my plants. But if you haven't joined, I'm sure you still have time to join. So if you're doing any type of indoor gardening, share it with that hashtag. And let me tell you, Mike and GT Junior will comment or at least give you a thumbs up. They love watching all the hashtag WIG 2025 videos that are popping up. And I've been seeing it quite a bit myself. So back to the Brussels sprouts. I've planted them at the wrong time of the year. They are fall veggie. So I will try them again and plant them in the fall instead of in the spring. So we have cabbage. Cabbage is a cool season crop. So we do those in the spring and we do those in the fall. So we're going to try to do those, and I'm going to try to get them covered. Mine got the little worms in there with the little moss this past year, so I've not been able to grow cabbage quite yet. So we're going to try again. Hey, Jackie. Nisi, I think I said hello already. So one of the things that we are going to do is melons, and Unique, you asked for some melons. So these are coming your way. So Minnesota Midget is ones that I'm going to be trying this year. And I have tried those before and they are awesome. So we're going to grow those again. And then what we're also going to be growing that we've never grown before is those Hales Best Jumbo. So we are going to try those as well. Yes, Donzel, if you're coming in the room, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. We are growing amazing. I love this community. The support has been amazing. I've enjoyed every minute of it. Like I said, I've been MIA for a little bit, but we are back. So carrots. I love growing carrots. I do really great with carrots in my sips. I use the Earth Box ones that are their root and veg, so they are a little bit taller, a little bit deeper. And I have done Nantes, if I'm saying that right. Let me see if I can find them in here. Let's see. No, they're in here. Now I've done the tender sweets. Those do really well as well in the, here they are. There they are. So I've done these Scarlet Nantes and they grow 6 to 7 inches long, and I will get every bit of the 6 to 7 inches. All right, cool, Unique. So those did good well in your garden too. Awesome. Good. So I don't need to, if you want me to send you some, I will. If you don't need to, you know what to do. Message me. So really excited to do my carrots again in my, they're the root and veg Earth Box, and I'll put a link in there because I do have an affiliate with them. So really liked growing my carrots in there. Then celery does really great as well in your sips. I love them in my sips. I will start them in my hydroponics. and then I will transplant them out to my sips. They do require shade. So make sure that you either have a shade cloth or you plant it close to another plant that will give it shade. It does not like the hot sun here in Virginia. So I do try to shade it when I plant my celery. I'm not a fan of cauliflower. I don't like it, but I wanted to grow it. And so I bought these from Roar Seeds. They're called a baby cauliflower. Look how tiny they are. They're so cute. So I'm going to try cauliflower in the garden this year just for fun. My daughter likes veggies, so I know that if I fix them, she'll eat them. Corn. Got 3 containers of corn. And I'm going to tell you what my favorite corn. I grow these every time I grow them. They are specifically for containers. And I grow these in my sips. I will give you a caveat. And they're the sweet corn on deck hybrid. They're SH2. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I've learned about that little code, SH2. So if you are going to grow corn, you need to be looking at the little code beside it. And the reason is if they pollinate at the same time and they cross-pollinate, you may not get the fruit that you planted. So you could have you could grow a fruit that you weren't expecting because of pollination while the plant was growing. Whereas most times if you're saved the seeds and it's a hybrid, you have a problem later. You can have a problem in the onset if you have these pollinating at the same time as SH or SE. You will have cross-pollination. So for me in my garden, I only grow, I want to say the SH2, and my other one that's my favorite is also an SH2. It's Simply Irresistible. It's a taller stalk, whereas the Sweet Corn on Deck Hybrid is specifically for container gardening. So it will only grow, I want to say 5 foot high, which is shorter than most corn. Most corns grow 7 to 9 feet. So they're specifically for containers. You can put 9 in a 24-inch container. I use square foot gardening, so I will tell you, I will put 16 of these in my city pickers. I will put 16 of these in my earth boxes, either one of those containers, and even in my grow boxes. A garden patch. That's another sips that I use, and I will also put 16 in one of those. So a lot of corn, and I will succession plant. So I will start 32, another 32, and what it allows me to do is eat some and freeze some. I'm a working business person, right? And so I can't take a whole day to freeze a whole bunch of corn, but I could take an evening and go through and shuck 20, 30 ears of corn and then go ahead and freeze them and put them away for the winter, which I love to put away corn for the winter. Our family could eat corn every day if I let them, and that would be the only veggie that they would eat. So we're big corn eaters in this family. So my favorite, one of the ladies at church, I don't think I have any. That's one I will need to order. Another one that I order is the Gotta Have It, also from Gurney's. So I ordered the Simply Irresistible and the Gotta Have It, also from Gurney's. I ordered those 2 from that company. And those 3 are my favorite. I've grown all of those. So I'm going to grow those again. I did do something that I've never done before, but I wanted to try it. So I'm going to talk about it now. So I bought mini pink popcorn, red strawberry popcorn, and miniature blue popcorn. So I wanted to try something different. Won't do a lot of them, but I will put my hat in the hat, put my name in the hat to try it. I do need to go research. Oh, I was talking about SH2. Oh, I did talk about it. So you don't want to cross pollinate. So make sure that you're planting them far enough apart that as the bees try to pollinate, you don't get any kind of issues. All right. And then another one that we decided to get, the dollar store had them on clearance, 10 for $1 back in 2023. So they had this early golden bantam hybrid, and they're an SU variety. So this variety actually can be grown with your SH2. They're not, the cross pollination isn't going to affect it, if I remember correctly. So don't quote me on that. I'll put a note in the chat in my description if I was wrong. But I'm pretty sure that that can be grown with the SH2. So I think that's the reason why I went ahead and bought those. So that is the corn containers, and I've talked about what I grow and what I've enjoyed growing. Let's get these back in here. And take a drink, because I've been doing a lot of talking. All right. One of my favorite fruit in the garden, cucumbers. So what have I grown in this package? Well, you guys know I grow the quick snack cucumber. Yes, coconut water, Miss Machida. I love coconut water from BJ's. I can go through a case, probably case and a half every 2 weeks. My favorite. And it keeps me hydrated, and it's not high in sugar, and it helps with my weight loss journey that I'm on this year. So, you know about my quick snack cucumber. Another one that's my favorite that I like to grow, it's called Green Light. I get that from Park Seed. It is a hybrid. Another one that I've grown that I like as well, it's called Baby Hybrid Cucumber, also from Park Seed. Park Seed is kind of where I started buying a lot of my seeds. I didn't know about M.I. Gardner or Baker Creek. Gurney's and Park Seed was my go-to, and then I started talking to other gardeners, and I've since expanded into a lot more different ones. Another one that I've grown and had good success is called Sweet Success. It's another great cucumber. And then when I heard about M.I. Gardner, I have grown the Tender Sweet. I'm a small cucumber person. Like, I like the small ones. Oh, awesome. Unique, you're growing the quick snack because of my hydroponics. Absolutely. Favorite, and you missed it earlier. Let's see if it's still here. I actually harvested one earlier while I was on the video. So there it is. It's just real nice. I mean, you slice this up in a salad, or just take it and dip it. If you're like a ranch person, take it and dip it in some ranch. It'll be a nice, quick snack. And then another one that I have grown is the Muncher. And then this one I'm trying for the first time is an Ashley cucumber. So, and with cucumbers, I don't start them indoors. I will start those with direct sowing. I know some people do start them indoors and then transplant them. For me, I'm trying to save as much room inside my home for starting tomatoes, my peppers, the things that I don't need to start indoors. I'm not going to start indoors. I have a long enough growing season here where I'm growing, so I'm not worried about starting indoors to transplant outside. I've learned that as much as it hurts our hearts, that sometimes cucumbers might only last 60, 70 days. It gets hot. Some type of disease gets to it. Rip it out and start over if you have a long growing season. 45 days. I'm gonna be pretty close on most of these. 65 days. 55 days. 55 days. That's less than 2 months. Rip them out and start over. Like, don't, like, keep a few that are straggling, but if you're growing 7 or 8, rip 4 of them out, start new ones, straggle the other ones along, and then start the other ones maybe once you start the other ones pretty close to fruiting. So be prepared to succession plant your cucumbers. Another one that I don't grow because I don't like it. But you guys know that I did do the fairy tale eggplants just because it was part of the Little Tech Girls, and I cannot wait to show you those plants. My mom came over because of the snow, and she's like, that has got to be the prettiest purple flower I have ever seen. And I cannot wait to share you guys with that, share those videos with you from the updates. Absolutely beautiful, gorgeous, gorgeous purple flower that we've gotten with those little finger eggplants that we're growing hydroponically. All right. We're down one container. Woo-hoo! And what time are we at? Almost a little bit. We started talking about an hour ago. Next container is these are broken down a little bit more, and I'll explain as I go through here. So kale, my family loves kale. What we do most of is the dwarf. See if I can show you the whole container here. The dwarf blue curled vates. They're just a go-to for me. I've done those for forever and ever and ever. I did buy some white Russian that I do want to try, but my go-to has always been that dwarf blue kale, and it works really well. I've never grown kohlrabi, as you've heard Shelly say, kohlrabi. So you guys know that in my hydroponics, I am trying, and I think it's going to do well. I'm doing kohlrabi. I'm doing this purple kohlrabi in the hydroponics. Can't wait to share you the updates. It's actually starting to bulb. So really, really excited for, yes, they're pretty too, aren't they? Yeah. Nisi saw that. They are pretty. So I'm really excited about this purple kohlrabi. Never eaten it, ate it. Whatever the right conjugation should be there. So going to be trying out something new. I've seen different gardeners post that they do kohlrabi fries, put in the air fryer, spritz a little bit of oil, a little seasoning on it, putting them in stir fries. So we're going to be trying that, and excited for my kohlrabi. Lettuces. You guys know I love lettuces. You can see them behind me. Red lettuces being my favorite. So I've got a container of, this thing is packed. Nothing but red lettuce. So what do I have in here? I have my outrageous. You guys know I love growing that one. That's by Baker Creek. And these are the ones that I have saved the seeds. And I have my own. They are heirlooms, so I'm able to save the seeds and not have to buy from Baker Creek anymore. Another one that I've grown with great success is the red sails. And it's also an heirloom. And I have self-sown and saved those seeds. I have to say that with the red sails, I didn't have as good seed saving as I did with my outrageous. So that was interesting to me as I start saving seeds, that some plants will give you a lot more seeds than other plants. So it was very interesting that I did not get as many seeds with the red sails, but I do have my own. And as I grow some more, I'll let it go to seed, and I'll just keep saving my own seeds. So Unique says, I grew kohlrabi all the time when you was on keto. Okay. So yeah, definitely. If you can do veggies when you're on keto, definitely. Um, as much veggies as you can eat. I did keto a few years back. I didn't keep the weight off, so I was not surprised because I didn't do it. I didn't do a life change. I just did a keto. And with this last time that I did weight loss, I did a life. I just changed how I ate 100%. I didn't just go on some kind of fad. I went and got down into like, how much sugars am I eating? Am I eating too much pasta? What kind of things can I substitute that I like? And changed. So it was more of a life changing, and I lost 15 pounds and kept it off for 2 years. So I'm really excited about that. And so I'm on the trek to lose another 15 to 20 this year. So then I'll be closer to my ideal weight. Marvel of Four Seasons, you guys know that I grew that in the Farmer Chaz hydroponics. It's right here next to me. It is a beautiful, beautiful, just lettuce that you can grow in your garden. And I think those are the main ones that I like growing up. My Merlot. Merlot is another one of my favorite red seed lettuce that I love to grow. So I'm hoping you're getting some great ideas of things that you could grow in your garden that I've grown successfully that you might want to add to yours. So my green lettuce, green lettuce that I have grown. You guys know I recently grew the Sweet Baby Romaine, really great choice from Renee's garden. Another one that I love to grow is tried and true, works every time. The Paris Island cause romaine works great in your hydroponics, something that you could just grow year round. One of the ladies at church got me started on black seeded Simpson. I think we got Rich Black Man growing these in his hydroponics. Really great one that you can grow as well. Butter Crunch, tried and true, really great one. Like I told you, this package is open, so I'll go through, I'll mark it, what kind of seed it is, and then I can just drop it in here for when I need to save it without the seed spilling all over my boxes like sometimes I have. Then I have a miscellaneous lettuce, so they don't kind of fall in the red or the green. And what's in here is like Swiss chard. I've never grown it. They said that's really great for chickens, so I will be trying that. It's time for him to replant. Yeah, 60 days is about all you're going to get with lettuce, and then they're going to go to seed. 60, I think I got maybe 70 days out of the ones that are behind me. Let me see my blacks. See if it'll tell me. Come on. Of course, I'm it, so it's not going to tell me. Come on. Okay, so my black seeded Simpson behind me is at 44 days. And it is just doing beautiful. I do need to harvest it. And it's at the light, so I need to harvest it so I don't have to put the light up. So those are the things that are in my miscellaneous lettuce. This is the container I was looking for. So these are my melons, not cantaloupes. These are my melons. And the one I wanted to send you that I haven't sent you yet, here it is, unique. So this is what's coming to you. Kajari lemon. There is, what's the guy from North Carolina? I can't remember his name. One of the big garden channels. He grows this Kajari lemon, and that's why I bought this lemon to try it out this year. So, Unique, you and I are going to try this together and see how it goes. So, here it's coming at you, lady. Then I have my mustards and my collards. Notice my container is empty. Not a big mustards and collards lady. And like I said, I'm Latina. I'm not black. A lot of my friends that are black. They grow a lot of mustards, a lot of collards. I've never grown to like it. I'll eat my mother-in-law. She's the only one that I will eat. She knows, as far as I know, she's the only one that I know can cook them right. So I will eat hers, and I never learned how to cook them like she did, like she does. So, but what I do grow is in this mustard is the tap soy. I don't know if I can show you how pretty that looks. It doesn't even do it justice. It's just the most beautiful flower. And I will grow this and put it with some beef kielbasa and some cabbage. And my kids will lick that right up with some rice. And that's dinner for us. Onions. Someone talked about tips. Onions. Unless they are bunching onions, be prepared to buy onions every single year. Just put it on your calendar. You have to buy onions every year. Onions are probably one of the only seeds that the germination rate goes from 0 to 50. I should really say 0 to 40 in 1 year. The germination rate just goes down the tube with onions. So when I buy onions, I plant them all. So I do. This is one of the things I still need to buy some more of. I was buying. What was I buying? Was it the fairy tale eggplants? I was buying something for the garden, the grow challenge. And so yeah, absolutely right. The germination rate on onions goes 0 to 40 or 0 to 20, 0 to 0 in 1 year. So I've learned the hard way to plant them all. Even if I don't plant them all out, just go ahead and just do them all. It's not worth the aggravation for me to try next year and only get 50% of seeds. So since I was ordering from Territorial Seed Company, I needed to buy some onions. And if you buy onions, you know that onions, you need to buy them whether they are long day, short day, or intermediate day based on where you live. I live in intermediate, so I can actually grow more long day than short day. But I am going to try this year. I told Cece I'm going to try to do some of her Texas sweet onions here in Virginia. I may not get as big as a bulb as she would, but I just want to try it just for fun. So, but I did buy the Ovation, which is great for storage. I bought an Oneida, which gives me a 6-month storage time. So that was really good. So I know that I can harvest this in 105 days. So September-ish. And then September, October, November, December, January, March. I'll have some March. And then, of course, I won't have any probably for the summer, but I'll have some onions. So which ones am I growing first for spring? Onions. This is going to be the first thing that you're going to see me post that I am starting indoors for spring. Well, kind of not. Indoors for spring. You're going to see me post that I'm growing this indoors for spring. But what you're going to see me post next, Donzel, is that I'm going to be winter sowing. So I still have time to winter sow here in Virginia. And I'll be doing a lot of winter sowing. And that's going to take its own video. But for indoors, I'm only going to be doing tomatoes, peppers, and onions. And sweet potato slips. That is all I'm planting on starting indoors for outside, for taking outside this year for spring. All right, let's get through this box. So we have spinach. Spinach, you guys know, is spring and fall crop. And I've got some of those behind me here. Thank you, G Mama. I want to shout you out again. I started those in her water method. I could not get them to get started at all in my hydroponics. I started them in some water, then transplanted them into the hydroponics, and they're doing amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Um, Black eyed peas, something that I bought, have not grown. All right, peppers. 3 containers of peppers. I broke them down in 3 different types. We have your sweet peppers, you have your hot peppers, and you have your banana peppers. So if I need banana peppers, I go straight to my banana peppers. And a banana pepper is a banana pepper. So I have them from Fairy Morse. I have them from My Gardener. Doesn't matter. Banana pepper is always great for a salad. So I'll have those for salads. I don't like hot peppers, but my son does. So I will grow. I do like jalapenos. That's about as hot as I get. So I do grow jalapenos, but then I will grow for him habaneros. I lied. Would you forgive me? There is one that I do like that's a little bit hot. Look how pretty these are. They're called the Santa Fe green pepper. That's as hot as I get. And I will take these and put them in kielbasa as well. Just peppers and kielbasa and onions with rice. And my kids love it. And then I've got all kinds of hot peppers that some I've grown for friends. This one I do want to try this year. I want to try Tabasco. I bought 2 12-ounce bottles of hot sauce. I want to say January 1st. My son has gone through almost both bottles. So I need to start growing my own peppers so I can make my own hot sauce. Because my son's going through way too much hot sauce. I told him, you're going to be responsible for buying hot sauce from now on. You're 21. So, and then of course, sweet peppers, California Wonders, a yellow monster, the golden California Wonder. I mean, you can't go wrong with Sunbright. Look how pretty. I like colors in my green peppers. So, and I am trying this year a lilac bell. So I'm going to add a little purple into the pepper world. So peppers are one of my favorites. So I want to grow a lot of variety this year. So you'll get to experiment with me with peppers. Pumpkins. Pumpkins are broke out into 6 different containers. So pumpkins is something I have grown, but I also want to do a lot more experimenting. You like the purple in your garden, Croppa? Yeah. I'm excited to do the purple ones. You use the okay, so Unique says, I've used the Santa Fe and the Tabasco for my hot pepper sauce for gifts for my family. Okay, I never thought about putting the Santa Fe and the Tabasco. So did you mix the 2 of them, Unique, or you did Santa Fe by itself and Tabasco by itself? Because my brain, I wouldn't think about mixing them. I would say, this is a bottle of Tabasco. This is a bottle of Santa Fe. So in the chat, tell me if you mixed them or you kept them separate when you made your pepper sauce. Unique. So pumpkins, I have it broken out because if I try to put everything in one, it won't work. So I have them broken out by how big the pumpkin grows. So I have one, you mix them. Okay. I will try the mixing when I try it. I have 5 to 10 pound pumpkins, 11 to 20 pound pumpkins, the big Whopper pumpkins, 20 pounds. And then I have it broken out into baby pumpkins, those little miniature ones that you use for decorating. I've done those. I've done pie pumpkins, and they've been awesome. And then some of your squash pumpkins. So they're considered pumpkins, but they're your pretty pumpkins. So those I have not grown. So those are going to be experimental for this year. All right, we are almost through this box. I'm just going to set these aside for now and come back to it. And take another drink because I'm thirsty. All right, so David said when he does his hot sauce, he mixes mine, but some are straight. They're still under the microscope. Okay, you're still learning. Hey, I think we're all learning, right? If if you're not learning, you're not growing. So I think we should all be learning and growing every year. There should be some staples that you do in your garden every year, and then there should be something that you're experimenting, something new you're trying. Even if it's a new pepper, a new tomato, a new whatever, something that you saw another gardener grow. Let me try my hand at it, and grow something new. You expand. You might find out. I never thought about eating tatsoi. Never, not once. And I want to say it was last year or 2 years ago. They did that grow challenge and they added tatsoi. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna try it. Not nothing that I've never tried before. My son actually asked, he's like, Mom, are you growing any tatsoi? I love it in the beef and kielbasa. So it was great. Hey, official Jamia, thank you for joining. We're just going through my boxes here. Kind of should have done a lot of recap, right, at the top of the hour. So we are just going through how I organize my seeds, how I've come from just a little shoebox container. And then I graduated to an Omaha steak box container where I was throwing all the seeds. And then I was like, okay, if I'm going to be a real gardener, I needed to organize myself a little bit better. So we are almost through the box number 6. I keep my seeds in the photo boxes. It's worked out the best for me. Are you canning your own hot sauce? I'm gonna try, Donzel. I'm gonna put my hand in the ring. I'm gonna try to do my own hot sauce this year. I'm gonna grow my peppers and see what happens. My son will be my taste tester. And I'm gonna tell you, that boy likes to eat, so he will be fast to tell me whether they were good or not. Oh, Jamia, once you get organized, it will change your life. I'm telling you, it will change your life. Peas. So I have them broken out in just regular peas and then snap peas. Right now, I have the Tom Thumb snap peas growing in my hydroponics. My daughter just goes up, snaps it, and eats it fresh. That's the only reason why I grow them, just to eat fresh. So I did the Tom Thumb. I've done, let me open up the, let's see. I've done the sugar snap peas, just the regular things that we've always done. I think that's pretty much what I've done. Yep, the sugar snap peas. So very, very consistent. Don't need to change anything up. It works for my garden. Radishes are a real quick win in the garden. Chair bell being the one that I do most of. So radishes are in here. Something new that I bought, and I'm going to try it. I'm going to do some research. I want to do rice just for the funsies. So I don't know if I'll do it this year or it might be next year. Not sure if I'm going to experiment that much this year, but I bought it. We're going to do some Jamaican sorrel. I like to do the Jamaican sorrel drink with my ginger and a little bit of sugar, and I drink that with my lemonade or with my coconut water. I've tried to try not to drink anything with carbonation. That's one of the biggest changes that I made. I think it's made a huge difference in my diet. Yellow squash, crookneck squash. That's pretty much a staple for everyone. Tamarillo. I bought this. We're going to try it this year. And we did a live, I want to say the last live we did with the Garden Girls. Someone talked about it on that live. So I'm excited to try these. I'm supposed to be sending some of these to, I think Cece already had some seeds. I need to check with her. But I know I do need to send these to the girls. Antonio, thank you for joining from Tennessee. What's your temperature like in Tennessee? Did you get any of that? I think you guys got some of that crazy snow. And I think you guys are a stoppage. All right. Last but not least, you guys know which one I haven't talked about. Anyone to guess which one I haven't talked about? It's freezing deer, okay. All right, Unique, you ordered the tamarilla seeds because of that. Yes, I already had them, so I'm excited. So I got it from Baker Creek. These are ones that do need to start indoors. So Donzel, I lied. I'm not going to try to winter sow these. I think I'm going to try growing these inside. It says it needs greenhouse cultivation in the north. I don't know if I'm too north, but we're going to try this. So I do need to start these indoors, Donzel. All right. Anybody guess which one I haven't talked about yet? Any guesses? Any guesses? Any guesses? Any guesses? Let me find the other containers to this one. I have it sitting here. All right. Tomatoes. So we haven't talked about tomatoes. Last of the, and I think this is where we're going to wrap up our live today with talking about tomatoes. We talked about a little bit about everything. So how do I have my tomatoes separated? I have my tomatoes separated in 6 different containers, and I'm just going to tell you which ones they are, and then we'll talk about the different containers. So I've got dwarf tomatoes. I've got determinate tomatoes. I got cherry tomatoes. I got Roma tomatoes. I've got indeterminate tomatoes. And I have semi-determinate tomatoes. So why me? Yes, I'm a little obsessed with the tomatoes. I am. And the thing is, I like tomatoes, but tomatoes don't like me. And I won't say I'm allergic to them, but I'm allergic to them. So my tongue will break out and I will start itching if I eat too many red tomatoes. So I have to be careful with them. But so I do a lot of yellow tomatoes in order to not have to worry about the itching and the blistering from tomatoes. All right, let me go to the chat. It looks like your power was out, Antonio. Ooh. Oh, in and out for the last couple of, okay, so you're in and out, which is good, I guess. Better than being off all the way. Have you ever heard of a tool called the paper pot transporter? They are made by a company here in Tennessee called Never Sink Tools, and they make a special seating tray as well. Huh. I have not. I'll have to look into that after the chat. Thank you for passing it on to us, Antonio. Bossy, you're not behind. Give it time. You'll have 7 or 8 cases. Once you get bit by the bug, you'll get bit by the bug. I'm like everyone. I'm Jacqueline. I am a seedaholic. Yep, I go do meetings every week with the ladies in the chat, and we help each other not to spend as much money on seeds, but not the best at it. Exactly. I'm not. Yes, Cropper, you got me. You got me on that. So I'm not allergic to the point that I don't buy them. So let's start with dwarf tomatoes. And the reason I want to start with dwarf tomatoes is because we're in hydroponic season, right? So dwarf tomatoes, and I'm going to give you a little bit of precursor. So I did a lot of different dwarf tomatoes this year. Some that I've never done before and some that I have. And the Tiny Tim is tiny. And I did not remember that from previous years. So it's smaller than I would want to grow indoors for hydroponics, but I did it. If you want to keep it like in a sprout, great choice for a sprout. but not my favorite as far as size. I haven't tried any of the tomatoes for it, so maybe if I remember how good it tasted, might not be so bad. Then I grew the Siam and the red velvet. They're part of the Fresh Bites series that they're doing with the dwarf plants. I have to say I like the taste of the red velvet better than I did the Siam. The red velvet was a little bit sweeter. The Siam was good flavor, but not a sweet. It was, yes, the Tiny Tim is a micro dwarf. Definitely, Mike. It's too tiny for me. Yeah, it was just really too tiny for me. So, but we did it. It was fun. You support Seed Holics? Thank you, Donzel. So, as far as this hybrid, and of course, you can't see the seeds. So, I did them. Will I buy them again? I have to say my answer will be no. I won't buy the Siam or the red velvets again. I can say that I tried them, but I will not buy them again. Just because of it's a hybrid. I can't save the seeds. I have to keep buying them, and they're expensive. They're like $6.95 for 10 seeds. That's super expensive as far as I'm concerned. So won't be buying those again. Let's see, the little Napoli. It's a dwarf. Tried it in hydroponics. I think I've told you guys a little bit about this in my other videos. It didn't like being so super wet in the hydroponics. I want to say out of the hundreds of people that grew them for the challenge, maybe 5 or 10 I've seen that did really well with them. So not a lot of good success. It's another hybrid. It is a Roma, a tinier, a smaller Roma. So what I will do with these is I will plant them out in the spring in my sips versus doing them with hydroponics. I'm just going to go ahead and use up the seeds that are in this package just so I can use them up. The ones that I will do again in my hydroponics, it's my Golden Harvest, my Orange Hat, and I probably will stick to those two from here on out. I probably won't grow, and then maybe the regular heirloom red cherries. It's a bigger one. So that's probably all that I will grow from here on out in my hydroponics. So when you see me do hydroponics, that is all I'm going to do. You know what I did cover? We'll come back to it. All right. So dwarf. Next size would be your cherry tomatoes. So sun gold. It is indeterminate. So those I do stake. What I'm going to do this year that I haven't done before, and I started to do these, well, Shelly gave me some, but weren't able to get them out. So I'm going to do some Aunt Molly's ground cherries, tomatoes. I want to try that. I will do the sun gold again. And then I bought these tropical sunset. So they said they're really sweet. So everybody likes a real sweet. And it's yellow more than red. I already told you I'm allergic to red. So they're yellow more than red. So we're going to be doing those. Romas would be our next size. So the Romas, I do can a lot of spaghetti sauce and diced tomatoes for spaghetti. I did over this snow break, I did a lasagna soup, and it was amazing. Do you hear me? I used some of my own spaghetti sauce in it, and it was so good. It used a farfalle, not sure if I'm saying it right, pasta in it, ground beef, as a lasagna in a soup. Amazing. So I would definitely recommend it if you go out and you find that recipe on Pinterest. Great. I've always done aroma VF for my aromas, but for this year, I do want to try some San Marzanos. I have some Italian friends that live in Waynesboro, Virginia, and they tell you that a real Italian only uses San Marzano aromas for any type of real Italian cooking. So I want to do some real Italian cooking. So I'm going to try to grow some of the San Marzanos this year. So you guys know that I do sips. If I don't need to trellis like 8-10 feet, I'm only going to grow determinants. If I can just throw a tomato cage over it, upside down, that's all I need. I always go for my determinants because I'm in containers. There's still a lot of great choices in your determinants size for tomatoes. Let me go to some of the ones that I've grown in the past. And then I'm going to tell you some of the ones that I plan to grow this year that are new. So the big rainbow, I have done that in my course, not as red. I've done those in my sips. Another one that I've done is a sweet tangerine, not as red. In my sips. What else have I done that's in here? Better Bush, I should say Better Bush. I've done those in my sips. They do really great. The Charger, of course, these are all hybrids, but they do really great in the self-irrigated planters. And then for me, I want to experiment this year. So when I go to a seed catalog, I'm always flipping for determinant. I will go, if they have a page of determinants, I'll go through. It's like, okay, what do I want to try this new? Because I don't try to grow indeterminates. There is one indeterminate in here. I used to grow them, but why am I going to sit here and stake when I'm in a container and I don't have, I'm already this much, I'm already, 18 inches off the ground because I'm in a self-watering container. And if it grows, I'm only 5'4". I know you can't tell it by the camera, but I'm not very tall. So when a plant gets 8-10 feet tall, it's just too much. Yes, I could top it, but thanks to me. All right, bossy. Okay, I'll take full responsibility for you having hydroponics. But so when a catalog comes to my house, I go to the tomatoes and I'm looking for determinants, and then I'm looking for yellows. Just because yellows work best for me, but I'm not the only one who eats tomatoes in my house. So this year I have, let's see, I have six new ones that I want to try this year. So I'm going to show you on the camera. So I have a Sylvie Fir Tree, nice sized tomato. Let's see, 60 days to maturity. That's another thing I like about determinants, quick maturity time. And they grow about a 2-inch fruit. So they're great for canning, for juicing, and for fresh eating. I am one that I'm in the garden. I'm not going to wash it. I am only going to pick it off and I'll eat it right in the garden. And I don't need salt. Sorry if I offended the salt people. But I don't need salt. I could just eat it fresh out of the garden. You're 5'10". All right, Donzel. When I meet you, I'm gonna be like, oh, and let me not forget that half. So, Crimson Sprinter, another one. Let's see, 65 days to maturity, 5 to 7 ounce fruit. Another great and it tells you it's for short season growers. So if you're north of me and you'll have a shorter season, Crimson Sprinter looks like to be a great one to put in your garden. My daughter lives in Florida. They said this is a great one for hot temperatures. I get some hot temperatures here. It's called Florida Day Tomato. It's great for pasta sauces, for pastes, and for sauteing. And they thrive in warm and humid climates. Virginia is humid and gives you a 5 to 7 ounce fruit as well. This one's a little bit longer. It takes 85 days. So you're at 2.5 months before you get this one. Mountain Princess, an 8-ouncer, 70 days to fruiting. And then black seaman tomato. This one takes a lot longer. You're in the 80 to 90 days, but gives you a 1 to 2 pound tomato. So one of those nice big, and it's a deep burgundy in color, with hints of pineapple and tropical fruit. It produces all season long. So this one will definitely, look at that tomato. Isn't that pretty? So definitely will be going in my garden, and I hope it becomes one of my favorites. So that's some of the things that you're going to see going into our garden for this year. Antonio, if you have a 3D printer, you can make some pretty, oh, really, some really gnarly 3D printed hydroponic. I don't have a 3D printer. My sister does have one of those Glowforge things. Hers isn't Glowforge. Hers is another brand. So what I am going to be doing is going to her house. It's one of those etching thingies. I'm not good at. Can you tell I'm not into that side of the crafty things? My crafty is at the Cricut level. Her crafting is at this level. So I am going to get some of those metal plant tags, and I'm going to etch them in for me. And then I'm going to put them in my garden. It's something that I'll be able to use from year to year. So I'm looking forward. So when I go to my sister's house and we start doing that, I'll do some videos over there. So then you have your semi-determinate and your indeterminate. So your semi-determinate grow over usually anywhere between a 3 to 6 to 7 feet, but they normally don't go over 7 feet. Anything indeterminate that keeps growing is in this case. So I have some of those in here. These are ones I have not grown before. So some of these I will be trying. I'm just not sure which ones I will be trying. I'm pretty sure I'll try this one. As you guys know, I like yellow. So it's called a Golden Jubilee tomato. 65 to 95 days. There you go. Do I do the square? I do square foot gardening. That's all I do in my garden. You're going to see that this year when you see my gardening, Antonio. It works for me. I'm in my SIPs. It's tried and true. It works for some people. It doesn't work for others. And I've seen people, I was like, I've tried it. It doesn't work for me. That's fine. Do what works for you in your garden. I want to show you what works for me in my garden. If it works for you too, you learn from me, great. If you're doing something and it already works in your garden, that's great too. I've watched others. I've never did grow bags before. I've learned and I love it. I'll continue to do my potatoes in grow bags. It worked out really well. So I am willing to learn from others and adapt in my garden and do what works for you. There is one that I will stake, and I will stake every single time. And I will grow it every single time in my garden. And it's the Kellogg's breakfast. It's a yellow. Let me see if I have one in here that I can show you. Here it is. Isn't she pretty? It is such a great tasting tomato. So I will do a Kellogg's breakfast. I will stake. I don't care. I will stake it. I will put it in my garden. My favorite tomato in the garden. West Virginia heirloom. Daryl Kellogg was the one who did it. A variety he preserved in Rutherford, Michigan. Delicious on a salad. That's how I normally do it. Or just a tomato and lettuce sandwich. It will change your life. Put in the chat, mayonnaise or Miracle Whip. I know I'm really ruffling the feathers with this question. Yes, I do the Kellogg's breakfast in my city pickers. I do. I will just trellis it, and I'll show you how I trellis it. I will trellis it, but I will do a calyx breakfast in my city pickers. Lettuce, tomato, dukes. Ooh, you're going with a real mayo. All right, real mayo. Well, I'm gonna disappoint some of you. I'm a Miracle Whip girl. I know you was gonna say that. Like, whip's nasty. I know, but I like it. I like everything sweet. Like mayo is just mayo. It's plain. It's mayo. I need some sweetness in my life because I need sweetness in my life. Oh, neither. Don't do it. Yeah, yes, you can just do lettuce and tomato, right? And you don't even need bread. A little salt and pepper. All right, this is where I'm going to throw you guys off. Instead of doing salt and pepper, just do Old Bay on your tomato. Slice some tomatoes. Throw a little bit of Old Bay. I know you guys on the West Coast don't know about Old Bay, but people on the East Coast know what Old Bay is. But I'm telling you, when the summer comes and the summer hits, you Miracle Whip and a good chicken salad. Oh, Nisha, I knew I liked you, Miss Nisha. Miracle Whip and a good chicken salad. It works every time. Yep. Take your calyx tomato, slice it about a 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch thick, and you throw you some Old Bay on it, and you will never put salt and pepper again on your tomatoes. I promise you. It takes it to a whole different level. So that's my favorite and my indeterminate. Before and when I was doing in ground at my old house, um, we did a lot of indeterminates because we staked it. We grew on the ground. When I moved here, what's Old Bay on tomatoes? Shelly, you in Maryland, you've never done Old Bay on your tomatoes? Come on, girl. Come on. Come on. All right, this summer, I'm gonna go to your garden. Ah, yes, ma'am. And hey, if you can taste test uh Chaz's peppers, you can take and them nasty quails that you tasted on live, you can taste test some all right, so Chaz said she'll be right back. That's fine. You can test some Old Bay on some tomatoes. So I don't want to hear that. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. So what I did buy that I have not tried before, just because you guys know I like yellow. So I am going to try these. They're indeterminate. I'll probably plant it in the same containers with my Kellogg's since I'm going to be staking them. You just have, okay, you never heard of it. All right, all right. So I'm going to try these pineapple tomatoes. You guys know I'm a little bit allergic. So we're going to try these pineapple tomatoes. It's another large tomato, up to 2 pounds. It says it got a little sweet and sour to it. It's got a little pineapple and citrus tone. Takes 75 days. The Kellogg's take 75 days. So winner, winner, chicken dinner. That is some of what we are going to be doing this year. So everyone that's been in the room, we've had such great, I've had a great time. Hope you've had a great time. Sharing how I organize my tomatoes, all of my seeds. I will share in another live because I know that Chad's been wanting to see my spreadsheets, but I'll do another live and share my spreadsheets, and I'll share my new way that I added. Thank you, Shelly. Yep, replay. I kind of shared a little bit of what I've grown and what I want to grow this year. How I organize my 6 containers. All of my fruit containers are full, so we should not be buying any new letters unless it can fit one of these boxes I already have. Nisha says, thank you for the info on the city pickers. Yep, picked them 6 when they were 50. Ooh, $15? That is good. That is good, good, good on this. Wow. That was a deal. Shelly's kind of, yeah, Shelly's the same way. Because she bought hers, I think, $25 a piece. $25 a piece last summer. She bought 6. But yeah, you can do tomatoes. And in my next live that I do, we'll talk about how I planted my city pickers, go over my sheet, and a little bit. Yeah, $15. Wow, right, Shelly? You paid 30. Okay. Hey, that's my art. Thank you for joining. So I think I've said hello to everyone. Thank you for the new folks that are in the room that I have not seen before. I do not use the Seed Time app, but I know that Shelly uses the Seed Time app. I use the Garden Planner by the Almanac. That's the one that I've used for planting and for planning out my garden. And I'll show you this year that I actually started using their seed inventory. And I've been playing around with it. I've been giving them some. It's brand new for them. I'm not endorsing them by any way. I'm not affiliate of them by in any way. But I've used their planner for a few years, and I just love how I can put in square foot gardening in the planner. I can set up all my containers. It'll give me a list of everything that I need to plant for the garden that I've planned, so I don't over start seeds. That's what I really like about it. Like, I can just start the seeds that I need for my garden and not have any extra. And if I do start any extra, it's ones that I want to start for giving away. So that would be the only reason why I would start any extra seeds this year. So thank you for joining. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for being with me with all the last 3 weeks of a little bit of craziness. I haven't been out here except for the Garden Gals Chat and Chew. We plan to put out some more content. I need to catch you up on the 30 hydroponics. We've had some fails. When I went to Florida, one of the tomatoes that I had not staked fell over, and it is in a very state of, I'm not sure it's going to survive or not. We're kind of letting it limp along, and I might just cut the leaves that did not come back and still limp it along because it is one of my golden harvests. I need to show you guys the golden harvest that was that teeny tiny one. I think it has outgrown the other 2 that I planted at the same time. So, not to belabor tonight, thank you, everyone. I may jump on here again Thursday night. I should be able to post a little bit earlier. I'll try to make sure I'm not conflicting with any other. I try not to conflict with other some of our garden family here, but updates are coming. Thank you. Thank you, Dave, for joining. Just saw that you jumped in the room. If you want to watch on replay, anybody who's watching on replay, any questions that you may have, shoot them in the comments. I'm pretty good about trying to get back to you unless the algorithm gets kind of weird and I don't see it in my YouTube studio. So I was catching up with some of my old comments because my phone did die, or is in the process of dying, and we need the process of replacing it. So thank you, Mom. Mima Duncan is my mom. Thank you, Mom, for joining. My mom always says, why are you longer than 30 minutes? Whose attention span is that long? And so I had to explain to her some of the YouTube algorithms and why we have to do lives as long as we do. So thank you, everyone, for joining. Have a good night. If you're watching, like I said, on replay, like, share, and subscribe. Ask all your questions. And you have a great night again, and see you guys soon.